Imagine a creature weighing just over 2 pounds, pulled from the crushing darkness of the deep ocean. It is brought to the Toba Aquarium on Japan's East Coast and given a simple name. Number 1. This was the first giant isopod ever kept in captivity, a living relic from a world we barely understand. No one could have predicted that this armored, slow-moving dweller would soon become the most famous animal in the aquarium, and perhaps in all of Japan. At first, things seemed normal. Number 1 moved slowly around its tank, exploring its new home. It appeared healthy, a perfect specimen from the abyss. But then, on January 2nd, 2009, everything changed. During feeding time, it took a small bite of horse mackerel, then simply stopped. That was the last meal it would ever touch. Days turned into weeks. Weeks stretched into months, and months bled into years. For an astonishing 1,868 consecutive days, Number 1 refused all food. Its hunger strike became a national mystery. Caretakers of the aquarium tried everything they could think of. They adjusted the water temperature, hoping a subtle change might trigger its appetite. They offered a smorgasbord of different fish and marine creatures. They even gently pushed food directly toward its face, a desperate attempt to coax it into eating. But nothing worked. Word of the fasting isopod spread like wildfire. Soon, crowds gathered at the aquarium, hoping to witness the moment it finally broke its fast. They called these events feeding sessions, but a more accurate name would have been starvation sessions. The public was fascinated. Some people joked that it was just an incredibly picky eater. Others speculated that it was depressed, missing the freedom of the deep sea. But the biggest question remained unanswered. How is it still alive? How could any creature survive for so long without a single bite of food? The end of this strange era came on Valentine's Day in 2014. Caretakers found Number 1 motionless in its tank. The long vigil was over. An examination was conducted to find the cause of death, but the results only deepened the mystery. There was no sign of illness, no injury, no discernible reason for its passing. It had simply stopped eating until it stopped living. The news of its death sent a wave of sadness across Japan. Fans who had followed its story for years flocked to the aquarium. They left flowers, heartfelt notes, and even plush toy mackerel by its empty tank. Number 1 had transcended being just an animal. It had become a symbol of patience, of mystery, and of the deep sea's stubborn refusal to give up its secrets. So, what exactly was this creature? Number 1 was a giant isopod. Picture a colossal version of a roly-poly or woodlouse, but armored like a futuristic tank. These creatures are deep-sea scavengers, related to crabs, shrimp, and even land-dwelling cockroaches. They crawl slowly across the pitch-black ocean floor, thousands of feet below the surface, waiting patiently for a meal to drift down from the world above. Usually, this means the carcass of a whale, a large fish, or a shark that has died and sunk to the bottom. When they find a food source, they gorge themselves, eating until they can barely move. This feast-on-famine lifestyle is essential for survival in an environment where food is incredibly scarce. They can endure famine for months, or as Number 1 proved, even 4 years. Their survival strategy is a masterclass in patience. Giant isopods have no speed to chase down prey. They have no venom to immobilize a victim. And compared to intelligent deep-sea creatures like octopuses or squid, their minds are simple. Their greatest weapon is their incredibly slow metabolism. They can slow their bodies' functions down to an almost imperceptible crawl, conserving every last drop of energy. This allows them to outweigh almost anything else in the deep. When threatened, their armored bodies can curl inward, forming a nearly impenetrable ball, like a submarine sealing its hatches against attack. This protects them from predators and the harsh, rocky terrain of the ocean floor. One of the most striking things about giant isopods is their size. Why are they so big? This phenomenon is known as deep-sea gigantism, and scientists have a few theories. The cold, stable temperatures of the deep ocean slow down metabolic rates and allow creatures to live longer, giving them more time to grow. There are also fewer predators in the abyss, removing one of the key pressures that might keep a species small and agile. But most importantly, in the deep, being large means you can store more energy. A bigger body is like having a bigger fuel tank, which is a huge advantage in a world with no gas stations. Evolution in this environment moves at a glacial pace. Traits that work, like gigantism and a slow metabolism, stick around for millions of years. The legacy of number 1 is as deep and mysterious as its original home. Its 5-year hunger strike remains an enigma. Was it a protest against captivity? Perhaps its finely tuned instincts, honed over 300 million years of evolution, simply weren't compatible with life in a glass tank. Maybe it had eaten such a large meal before being captured that it simply didn't need to eat for years. We will likely never know for sure. Whatever the reason, its incredible endurance forced scientists and the public alike to completely rethink the limits of survival in a world obsessed with speed, efficiency, and constant consumption. The story of the giant Isopod is a powerful reminder. It proves that sometimes you can win not by being the fastest or the strongest, but by going slow, staying patient, and keeping yourself armored up against the world. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel for more tales from the unexplored corners of our planet. See you next time.